Welcome to the Broski Duels podcast, the best podcast in all of the land. This is Kiko Cervantes with your boy, Chef Maurice, directly from San Francisco. This is the best podcast right now after Joe Rogan's. Is also the number one podcast with an accent. So Spotify has a section where you can actually, if you're looking for a podcast where people speak with an accent, you can go there. Some people feel a little better because they're like, look, that makes me feel a little superior when I hear this guy, right? And then I still get the information, I still get the fun, I still support him, right? He's some sort of minority. And at the same time, I feel like, hey, at the end of the day, I'm better. You know what I mean?
I speak two languages. I'm better.
You know, when you come to Europe, you realize that speaking two languages is like,
It's normal.
That's like speaking one now.
Yeah, when I went to Germany for the first time, or the only time,
Be careful what you're gonna say.
they spoke very good English, and one of my friends
Yeah, they
who lives
better.
there,
They learn. No, well, I mean, in many ways, Europe is a lot more civilized in that sense. You know, like
in every sense,
aside from the French, I think the Europeans really try to like welcome the Americans. You know, like, hey, here, come here, you dumb fucks. It's through here, you know. But then the U.S., they don't try to accommodate the foreigner. I mean,
No.
Definitely not the immigrants, but I mean like the legal foreigner, right? The white foreigner, right? Like they're like, hey, yeah, welcome to fucking America. This is what it is. And if you got the hotel in the wrong part of L.A. or New York, you're gonna get robbed, and you're gonna be like, this is the U.S.
Nobody's gonna tell you.
Yeah,
It's not like when you sign up online to get the hotel, it's gonna tell you this is in a bad part of town.
Yeah,
It's not gonna tell you that shit.
This is a side of town where we sell fentanyl. Like, it's not that we sell drugs that have fentanyl. No. People come here to get fentanyl specifically. You know, but like, there's this documentary on Netflix about this hotel in LA, like in the Skid Row area, and like some lady died, like some Asian lady was found like dead in the tank, and they were interviewing some people that were there, and they were like this English couple from Britain, right, from the UK, fucking United Kingdom, mate, and they came to LA, right, and they booked the hotel, bro. If you saw the hotel, like the brochure, right, like how they booked it online, you would have thought like, oh damn, we're going to LA, this is fucking amazing, bro. The hotel was divided in two. Half was a hotel and the other half was public housing for homeless people and criminals that do drugs. And like they literally they couldn't be inside or outside because they were gonna get killed. And they were like this like two British couple, you know, like a guy and a girl that looked just very like decent, you know, like from a nice part of London. Like, what the fuck, mate? So
The Cecil
yeah.
Hotel.
Cecil Hotel, that's the one. I mean, a documentary, like all documentaries these days with Netflix, is a great story worth one episode. They divide it in three. But in any case, talking about Europe, one thing that is very big in Europe, that is also big in the US, is basketball, right? There is a different sort of culture when it comes to basketball in Europe. You have like the Balkan and the northern Baltic countries. I'm probably saying all the wrong words, but you know, like Estonia,
Eastern
Serbia,
European.
Eastern European. Like they have a very deep culture. I've seen videos because I think like some of the players, right, like that are big in the NBA right now are from there, like Luka.
Luka,
And then- Yeah, not Modric.
Doncic.
Right? Yeah, and then the other guy that's big, he's from like
Giannis
Yeah.
Antetokounmpo.
No, I mean that one's from like Greece, but I'm talking about the other guy that's super big. That's a white guy from like Serbia or some shit. He won the fucking thing. He's very clumsy.
Porzingis.
No, I
Kristaps Porzingis.
No, I don't think it's that
He
one.
just won with Boston.
Yeah, no, but not with Boston. The previous one.
Fuck, I don't know, man.
Clunky guy. Anyways, I'll get.
Luka Jovic. Luka.
Yeah, that one. The other guy.
It tells you how much basketball we
The other
watch.
Serbian. Anyways, so, but the reason why I wanted to speak about basketball is because
Luka
there's-
Jokic.
Jokic. Yeah, there's been a lot of news recently about the WNBA, which is strange, right? I think it's the first time the WNBA is in the news. And I know it's
Look,
cliche to shit on the WNBA, so I don't want to like sound like an asshole. But yeah, go on.
I think this is the podcast with the accent, the only podcast with an accent that's going to talk about the WNBA. So
Oh, you see? And they're gonna
we
hate.
are.
They're gonna hate for
Yeah.
it. They're gonna be like, "Let me tell you something, you spick ass motherfucker. Don't be speaking about
Well,
WNBA. Get the fuck back to your country, motherfucker."
don't get us wrong. Basketball is also big in Latin America. Not as much as, of
Yeah.
course, soccer, baseball, but Venezuela has a very good league, a very good team. Argentina, Puerto Rico, the Dominican, Mexico. I mean, they all play basketball. They're
Yeah.
good. So we know a little bit.
Yeah, we
We
know a
know a
little
little
bit.
bit.
But anyway, so WNBA right now is being talked about because of a new player that's come to town. I mean, not a new player in basketball, but in the news, and people are now very excited for her, Caitlin Clark, right?
Yeah.
Miss Caitlin
Yeah.
Clark.
Miss Caitlin Clark. She's good. I'm talking or saying it from someone who's watched about 0 college basketball games. But the highlights I do see from her, it's insane. She's very good at
I mean,
playing with
she straight up
basketball.
throws even farther than like men. Like her 3 pointers are like super far back.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, she's amazing. I saw her on a skit on SNL too, like a year ago. I mean, I saw the skit recently, but it's from like a year ago, and she's super funny. She's super like well spoken. Like she knows how to, play in camera. And I mean, let's get to it. I know you have some stats, some details. Please, throw them at me at whatever time. Interrupt me, slap me in the face. But one of the things that I was thinking about is that one of the main critiques they have is that other players are kind of salty about the fact that she's getting a lot of attention, right? And we're
Yeah.
gonna look at both sides because there's both sides to it in the argument. There is what's a side that I think is more valid, right? And it's in the side of Caitlin Clark because I think that what she's doing, even if she wants to or not, is gonna benefit the league, right? I mean, even with her, the league is not gonna make money, but it's gonna lose less, which is, you know,
Well, I have some stuff for you that you're gonna. It's not NBA numbers. Like we cannot compare the men to the woman in this case because we know that the league, even though has been going on for years, it seems like the past 3, 4, 5 years they have some sort of renaissance. Like, and they have had a lot of good players coming into the league. One of them is Sabrina Ionescu. She was very good in college as well, so she got drafted and she plays for New York now. So that's and there's a lot of new players and they're coming up, and Caitlin Clark is one of those. And the weird thing is that ever since she's been in college, she's been deemed as like the next best thing or the biggest thing that has come to basketball. And I think that's a lot of pressure to put on someone who's only 18 to 20. In this case, she's 22 now. But ever since she was freshman, junior, she's been called the best or the next best thing. And her numbers and her awards speak for themselves.
and
She has
she's now she's a rookie in the WNBA, so she's his first year
she just
playing.
got drafted. Yeah, she just got drafted. I don't know, May, and then they just started the league
Oh,
earlier this month.
like a month or so ago. Oh,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
yeah.
What's the team that she got drafted
She
to?
plays for the Indiana Fever.
Okay.
She used to. She went to college in Iowa, the University of Iowa. Interesting place to go to. I don't see Iowa as a very happy place to be. I don't know. A lot of corn.
You been?
I have not, but
Okay, so you're talking the mad shit. Iowa's probably super dynamic, very cosmopolitan.
Of course.
Okay, so look, one thing okay, so Caitlin Clark comes into the field. She brings a lot of attention, and some players are getting salty. Now,
And she just started.
she just started.
in the league.
There's some videos of some fouls. It seems like she's being attacked in a way. Now there is a side to this, which is the fact that this is a sport. It is I wouldn't say a contact sport, but it is an aggressive sport. It's gotten lighter along the years, right? It's not like in the Jordan days in the 90s. It's a lot, less rough, but it's still a game of, that you get rough with each other. And, she's a rookie. There's this whole thing where, like, if you're a rookie into a league, you're going to get it. You need to, earn your respect. So all that, I think it's fine. Like that part of it, I get it. It
But I
does seem
think
that they're being a bit extra, right? They are being
I
extra.
they are being extra because of who she is, but I also think that she has maintained her composure
Composure.
very well. So she has done like a very good job of like not putting so much attention on that and letting her game kind of speak. And then answering back, and which is also part of the game, like
Yeah.
bickering back and playing around, talking to the opponent is part of the game as well. So maybe she does that on the court, but not so much on the press, which is, I think
and
it's
and
nice.
even like people like male athletes that I don't agree with on many things, aka LeBron James and others, have spoken in favor of Caitlyn because they, as athletes that play at the highest level, understand what this means for the game. And also, bro, like, and I know it's hard, but when you're in a situation where somebody is being more successful than you, or they're better than you, or maybe they're not better than you, they're different, but they're just getting more attention, but that's benefiting the ecosystem that you're in, you should have a humble attitude towards that and be a good team player, be a good sportsman, right? Like that's like the whole thing about losing with honor, and I feel like not even the playing part, like where they're attacking her and the fouls, all that you could even argue, okay, look, they're just being rough. It is true I haven't seen people from her team sort of like defending her because she isn't sort of the Shaq of the team, right? She's more like the Curry. So you need Shaq or like another guy that's another woman that's gonna come and help her out. But the way that the other players speak about her is the part that fucks with me because they speak to her like there's this girl, maybe it's the Reese girl, Angel Reese.
Angel Reese.
I think she's the one that said something like, hey, people think that the league is like being, looked at now because of her, but, know that it isn't. Like, I'm part of that too, and this and that. And it's like, look, if you have to say that, then maybe it isn't, the reason that they're looking at it. And this doesn't mean that you're not good. It doesn't mean that you're not a star. But people, you have to understand, gravitate towards certain things. And for some reason, this girl is causing that fever, no pun intended.
No pun intended.
For example, like in the UFC, many times it's not the best fighter that gets the most money and the most attention. A lot of times it's the fighter that's able to market himself in a way that people find interesting. And you could say that's fair or not. You know what I mean? Like in football, you see it too, but I mean, obviously you see the best ones go at the top, but within the best ones, there's ones that are more marketable and better at speaking. Like for example, Messi, right, has always been super bad at like speaking or doing public things. I mean, he does it because like they put $300 million in his bank account, so he has to learn how to speak and do them. But you can tell he's a person that's not born for it, right? So his talent alone is what sort of took him there. But there's other players in football, in other activities, where it's more who they are that people are interested in, than. And Caitlin Clark brings that. Now, you want to say it's because she's white? Because that's one of the arguments that they've been saying in The View, for example. They've been saying that. It's like, really? So how do you justify the NBA, where the biggest stars, most of them are black? Or like golf with Tiger Woods, or like any other fucking sport. Like it's such a dumb thing. And when you put that argument and they see that they can't dispute it, then they say like, oh well, it's because Caitlin Clark is Christian and straight and has like a heterosexual relationship. So because she's not a lesbian, then they like her more. It's like, hey man, I don't know, like bring whatever you want to the table, but at the end of the day, I just think it's excuses, Nobody owes you nothing. If you play a sport, you bring the money that you bring, Like, I mean, and this has always been a cliche, but it is true. Like, people that say, "Oh, not enough people support women's basketball." Well, where are the women that support women basketball? Right? I mean, you have to understand that sports are a man thing most of the time. Like, what am I saying with this? I don't really like sports too much. I watch it because okay, it's good enough. But I see my friends, all of them like football, which I find a little like sickening. Like, right? I don't see that with girls. I don't see girls always away. So there is a difference there, right? A lot more people, men,
Yeah.
spend.
No, I was gonna say I've never met a girl who's like, dude, we gotta go home. I gotta watch the WNBA tonight. It's like, what
Yeah,
the
or
fuck?
any sport to that matter. I mean, I did
The
have
only,
one.
no, I was gonna say the only one sport I would like sit down and watch the whole thing. It's like the U.S. women's soccer, like maybe in the Olympics or in the World Cup, because they're very good at it. And but it's not like I've never met anyone's like, hey, let's go and watch, women's college basketball.
If anything, I think more. I think men are more inclined to watch any sport, even if it's women's sports, than women. You know what I mean? So like, I think that this is an opportunity. Like, dude, when they spoke about Caitlin Clark, I looked at some videos and I'm like, damn, I could watch a game. In my life, I would have thought I would want to watch a fucking game. So like, dude, whatever the reason is that people are getting excited for a sport or an event, like go with the wave. Don't fucking now go and criticize this poor girl. And like I don't know. I just find it stupid. And apparently they're not taking her to the Olympics, so people are pissed about that too.
Well, because
Yeah.
if you deem her as the best ever, or the new coming of Jesus Christ, it's like if you're calling her this, how come you're not taking her to perhaps the biggest women's basketball stage there is, which is the Olympics for women's basketball? So it was. I remember it was shocking to see that because I thought it was a given, and usually the Olympics women's team usually they take some college girl athletes because they're good at it, and then maybe sometimes they're even better than
Yeah, but she's not even
league
college.
players.
She's already.
Right. She's already in the pros.
Oh, but you mean yeah, because it's very close to us, so they would have contacted her from before.
On the other hand, the men's team doesn't call any college athletes because they try to take NBA
best.
players because in
Right.
that case the NBA is much better than.
Look, man, I think women's sports could be something that becomes more and more interesting to people. Then I go.
No, I wanted to ask you because you live in Spain, and then the women just won the World Cup last year. How did you feel that happened? That was going.
I mean, there's definitely a lot more support here for it. You know, people care about it, and I don't know if it has to do with just competition. Like if the competition is good, and the quality of the game is good, like even men watch it. Do they watch it to the same extent as they watch the men's football? No, but I think there's a place for it, and I think the market's gonna be smaller, but it's not unfair. And I think this is the root of the problem: is that people feel like it's unfair. They make less money. It's like they make less money because less people consume that
Right.
product. I mean, it comes down to it. Like, do I like the fact that athletes in the men's leagues make millions of dollars? I mean, do I think they deserve it? I mean, maybe not. I mean, maybe for just like doing a little game. If you think about it cynically, okay, they're just playing a little game. Maybe not. But you cannot say it's not fair because they're not giving that to him for free. They're giving it to him because he makes them that much money, and because there's a bunch of people that pay for tickets, that pay for shirts to go watch it. So if you want to be mad at somebody, be mad at the population that likes the sport.
Well,
But
let's put into a context Shohei Otani's contract. How much was it? 800.
yeah,
Why can the Dodgers give him that contract? Because for starters, you have a whole country, which is Japan, watching his games all the time. So money's going to come from that. Now, a bunch of endorsements from Japan are going to start coming in. More people are going to go to the stadium and watch him. More people are going to go to away games and watch him. So there's a lot that contributes to why Shohei is getting 800 million, in contrary to I can look it up. The highest woman athlete paid. You know, it doesn't have to be soccer or basketball, but the contrast has to be very, very
And I
far
mean,
apart.
and I think it varies, right? Like there's certain exceptions, right? Like for example, in tennis, I think Serena has won like a shit ton of money, and her sister, right? And in tennis, women's tennis is very competitive, and a lot of people like it. A lot of people watch women's tennis too. You know, it's right there with the men's tennis. So there are sports, gymnastics. I would assume is more of a, girls dominate that. Um, there's many things like, and I think women's sport. Like, look, somebody that bets in sports, right? They don't have an issue betting in women's sports if it's competitive. I mean, obviously, we're excluding the weird scenarios where we have somebody that used to be a man then becomes a woman and wants to compete with the women, which obviously then is not fair. But no, as it normally works, you have women competing with each other at the highest level. They're very close. They're very close to each other, and because of it, it makes it a fun thing to watch because it's competitive, right? I mean, that's it. Like that's what makes it fun. That it's competitive. So even if it's not the highest level, if they're good enough, you watch it and you enjoy it. So, volleyball. I bet women are, like I've seen games of volleyball where like it's super exciting and the women are
Beach
super good.
volleyball.
Yeah,
Beach
beach
volleyball
volleyball.
is very good too.
Well, I mean, I know why you're
Um,
watching that, but
I found a list of highest earning players, female athletes.
okay,
I wasn't expecting this. I don't know how true it is because we do research on the spot.
okay,
But out of the list of 10 athletes, 9 of them are tennis players,
right
and one is a freestyle skier who's no,
from
I mean
Russia.
she's from China,
Okay,
and she actually is from the United States, but she competes for China.
spy.
Uh, and she goes to Stanford, so she's my neighbor basically.
Okay,
So her name is Aileen Gu.
a
Anyways,
lingu. Okay. I mean,
anyways,
that's interesting. I didn't even know, but in my mind, I was like, I bet that the tennis players, and they do.
the
9 of them are
earnings
the. Hmm.
earnings are much higher, it seems. So I can't say her last name, but Iga Swiatek. She's a
Okay.
tennis player, and she's the one who makes the most, according to this. 23.9 million.
Okay.
You can't. I guess that's where the people are gonna say, how come she doesn't get paid half as much as Roger Federer or
I mean, I
you
think
know
at the end of the day, the root problem goes back to the same thing. It's like this origin issue that everybody seems to have a problem with, which is you get what you deserve. Like you get what you reap what you sow, right? So it's like in the government, right? Or you live in a society. You should get money based on what you provide as value, right? Like we wouldn't want to be in a communist place where everybody gets the same regardless of your effort, of your knowledge, of the sacrifices you've done. So with sports, it's just like in any other endeavor, right? You're gonna put an input, and then depending on what you get out of it, is what that value is, right? Like people would decide if they want to buy it. Like one argument that I've heard from athletes in the women's sphere that where I'm like, damn, that's actually so bad for you to say that because it makes you look so dumb. They said things like, look, we put the same effort, we play the same amount of games, but the men's football team gets more than us. It's like, right, but in life, that's not that's not directly correlated to what you make, right? Like you could say there's people that even do more sacrifices, wake up earlier than others, but they don't have the skills and the knowledge, to produce the same effort. You could have a girl on OnlyFans that's 24/7 showing her parts, right? But she only makes $50 a week. And then you have another one that only sends a few pics, but she makes millions, right? Is that fair? Well, I mean, I think it is because people decide what to pay. Like when I listen to shit music and that shit music sells a lot, right? I can be mad at that, but at the end of the day, there's people that are willing to pay for that. So I believe that's, fair playing field. And I think that's the main issue that these people don't seem to grasp, right? Like you get what you put in, and sometimes that's not really related to what you deserve per se, but more what people are willing to value that as.
I found a nice piece of information that might answer some of our questions.
Okay.
So we were talking before how far can you reach? Maybe that's how you're gonna bring the money into the league. That's how your contract is gonna be bigger, right? So the ratings for the TV, because a lot of people watch the sports on the TV rather than going to the stadium now. Anyways, the rating for the men's final this year was for an average of 5.8 million viewers, per game, which is a lot. But Caitlin Clark basically had broken records for 6 different TV networks every time she plays. The views are not as big, as men, but she broke the record for CBS, which is a big TV station, 2.25 million viewers. Same for ESPN, 2.10, ABC, 1.7 million. Another ESPN game, 1.56. So.
And I believe those are probably without her 10 times less.
Right. Without her, it has to be much, much less. So it's interesting to see how she brings more viewers to the game. Again, not as much as the men, but we'll see when the WNBA finals come and the ratings are out and we can compare them to
Look,
the men.
I'll tell you something. If I'm able to watch it, like if I'm able to access the final and Caitlin Clark is in it with the Indiana Fever, which is not the next pandemic, calm down. I'm going to watch that shit. And that says a lot, right? That a fucking dumb motherfucker in Spain is willing to watch that game. And I think that we're in a world where there's so much more space for entertainment, right? Like you see the MLS, the
Major League Soccer.
Major League Soccer, fuck. Major League Soccer in the US, right? It's getting bigger now with Messi. You have a lot of pro players going. And you're sort of creating a new excitement and new fans, people that in the past never even cared for it. Now they're becoming, and I think you can do that with women's sports too. It's like a fun thing to go, like the Savannah Bananas, right? We've always talked about the Savannah Bananas, right? It's like this baseball team that they play in a fun way, and it's also like a show, like a circus, but at the same time, it's a game, it's a family atmosphere. You could have that with women. I mean, am I being a dickhead, like saying women's sports should be just for like a little circus act? That's not what I mean. I'm saying there's space for more entertainment, and we need to embrace it instead of fucking knocking down poor Caitlyn Clark.
I was gonna say that Serena Williams said something about Caitlin Clark. If people are negative, it's because they can't do what you do.
You see,
So
I don't agree with Serena on mostly anything. I mean, not like I know her, right? Like we go for coffee and then we disagree on things. But even her, like, bro, everyone that I don't like for their views has come out the right way for this because they're athletes and they understand her position.
I think it also helps to be backed up by athletes who are
For reals, like high level.
the best. Serena might be the best.
And I think this is
women's-
the perfect time for people to come out and support this type of thing. Like imagine Serena. She's looking at the situation and she probably came into the game of tennis and brought it to the next level money-wise, right? She did that, right?
Definitely.
Just like Tiger Woods did that shit for golf. So how do you think Serena would feel? Like it makes so much sense for her to have that opinion because there were probably other tennis players that saw her as a threat and were like, oh, why is she getting fame? And we're also being dumb without noticing that this was going to make it better for them. It's sort of like in the past with skateboarding. I remember people wanted to keep it underground. And whenever you talked about putting it in the Olympics or making like official tournaments, they're like, oh no, that shit is bureaucratic. We want to keep it, marijuana and flow. Which is nice. It's cool. I like that. But now that you have skateboarding in the Olympics, skateboarding in many official competitions like X Games and Street League and many more, how many more people now watch it and are part of the culture, bring money to that business and that sport, and make it even better? Am I right or am I wrong? God damn it. I should run for mayor.
Hey, not to diminish
No, diminish it.
the the women's in the WNBA,
Yeah,
because
diminish
I
them.
mean oh, if they made it there, that means that they're fucking good at it. And, probably the US is going to win the Olympic again. So they are also very good at the sport. And I'm pretty sure they're going to be as good without Caitlin Clark.
For example, there's this I think her name is like Ridley or Riley. Yeah, Riley is her last name. I wasn't thinking about speaking about this today, but I just remember, is this a swimmer, right? This girl as a swimmer. And she spoke out against Leah Thomas, who's this girl that used to be a guy, and sort of started swimming against the women and would beat them. And he wouldn't be that good. He was like 400th place when was competing as a man. And then now when competing as a woman, he would beat everybody. So she spoke out, right? And, she got some backlash because, this is the rhetoric these days, right? Like this is the agenda. But she spoke out. She was brave. She even spoke in Congress, and she was able to get like laws passed and institutions sort of banned this type of thing. But what I'm trying to get to is like whenever she speaks in interviews, she's so like cool. She's so like wholesome. And what I'm trying to say is that that's a person right there that's an athlete, but also has a personality and is marketable. And that's how it all works. Like musicians even have that. There's musicians that are better than others, but they don't market themselves. And then another musician that's shit is the one getting like money and fame because they market themselves better. So that happens in every realm of the world, right? There's the actual essence, the talent you have, and then there's how you present it to the world and how they perceive it. And sometimes that's not fair. Why is it that certain OnlyFans girls get the fame and others don't? I don't know, it's unfair. They're trying. Poor girls. But you get what I'm saying? Like, you can't get mad at what people decide to like. That's people making a decision. Nobody's forcing them, But I really feel bad for those OnlyFans girls. 1, 2 views a month, that's fucked up. What happened?
So you're saying you're gonna watch more WNBA games?
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I've been wanting to watch more American sports, but I feel like there's not options here in Spain, and I've never been about the illegalities.
Right. You can go to jail now. Well, always.
There you go. I mean, you can always go to jail. I mean, talking about jail, you know who went to jail? Fucking Justin Timberlake. Did you read this shit in the news?
I saw the pictures.
The picture is like very bad. Like they always put like I mean, yeah, he was drunk, obviously, so that's why the picture looks like that. But I read the story and it was even funnier because from what I understand, the cop that stopped him was a young guy and didn't recognize him, right? So he just treated him like a normal civilian,
I mean, why would he get special treatment?
No, not special treatment, but like you would think at least you're like, oh damn, what's happening with you, bro? Like, what damn? Like you would know who he is. Apparently, Justin Timberlake said to the cop, "Damn, this is gonna fuck up the whole tour." And the cop was like, "What tour? What drugs are you on?" He's like, "Motherfucker, I was at NSYNC." And it's gonna be me.
I was singing to your mom. That's what he could have said.
I was singing to your mom. Yeah, your mom used to masturbate to me. What? I mean, real talk though.
She liked the curly hair.
Yeah, back in the day.
19-year-old.
19-year-old.
It was. Well, he's saying that he had one martini, Doug. One martini, Doug.
Yeah, but one martini doesn't get you enough alcohol in the blood system, unless you're a bitch. No, he was a little. I read somewhere something like, and I don't know what you think of this, right? Because you live in the sort of you're not in Hollywood, but you live in San Francisco. So you
In the
see,
same state.
yeah, you see the vanity, you see the people, you see the fucking vibe, right? I heard somebody say, damn, you're fucking Justin Timberlake. You have all this fame, you have all this money. Why would you drive when you can just get somebody to drive you? What would you drive? And there's two sides of this. One is obviously, why are you doing this? That's stupid. You're fucking retarded. And then the other part is, if you're that rich, you got a nice car, isn't the point of it to just go out, have a few drinks, and then go out with your car and, just say, fuck the world? It's gonna be me. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't support it, but if I was Justin Timberlake, right? Like I woke up, boom, I look down, I have just Justin Timberlake's dick. I'm like, what's happening? I look in the mirror, curly hair. I start speaking, no accent at all. Like, what? I learned how to speak English. What is this? I go outside, somebody asks me, hey, what month are we in? It's gonna be May. Right? If I'm Justin Timberlake, right? I would want to do that. I would want to go on my fucking Corvette. I don't know what he drives. Corvette is probably like riffraff. I don't know, a fucking Maybach. I'm driving along Hollywood Boulevard. I had 2 martinis. I said 1, but it's 2, motherfucker. And I got them double.
He looks high as fuck.
He looks high too, right?
Dog, he looks high as fuck.
He looks like he smoked a little Duberiski. He smoked the devil's lettuce. I gotta be honest.
Damn. Justin.
And like, do you think, because I mean, for us, right? For us, mortals, a DUI will fuck up your life. You know what I mean? Like
For this guy, it's just gonna pump up the numbers for the next concert.
I mean, he probably gonna have some issues, right? He's gonna probably have to do some things, right? But it's not the same
Pay?
that. Oh, I mean, pay, yeah. I don't know. You think you have to go to a little school?
Nah.
No, right?
He does it from home.
But for a normal person, a DUI. I mean, I don't know how it is in San Francisco, but I remember in Florida, a DUI, you can just jump off the bridge. It's like life is fucked, bro. If you're caught like drunk as fuck, thinking back, I mean, it's been more than 7 years, so I understand, legally nobody can really do anything, but damn, did we risk it. Damn, did we risk it. Chef Maurice is inside of his head like, shit, I still risk it today, son. Don't give a fuck. It's gonna be me. Chef Maurice is thinking in his head like, dog, I still do it Timberlake style, man. I don't give a fuck.
I plead the
Cry me a
fifth.
river, cry me a river.
Senorita.
It reminds me of like when Justin Bieber, like, didn't he like crash his like Lamborghini drunk as fuck when he was like 21?
I don't follow that shit. Probably.
But I mean, it's like the typical thing that people say, like, okay, if you're 21 and you're rich and, Selena Gomez is licking your tingling, how are you not going to crash your Lamborghini into a Target? You know what I mean? Imagine. I'm just saying, you feel me? All right. You're speechless?
I am speechless.
I just think drunk driving is stupid. You know what's worse than drunk driving? The other day I noticed this shit. I was in the bus because I use the public transport.
You see, that's where you can go drunk and not get fucked.
Bro, you know what scared the shit out of me? Because I'm considering getting a vehicle in the near future and getting back in the saddle, so to speak. And I'll be on my bus, Like when I say the bus, people that listen from the U.S., which is most people, by the way, a lot of the Midwest listen to us. It's weird. It's like you wouldn't believe why, but I don't know why either. They're like, we like these guys. They're original. They're genuine. They have this accent. They have like this folklore. We like it.
Hopefully, people from Iowa listen to us.
Yeah, Iowa and like Utah, where they do the soaking.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
So look, So Justin Timberlake, right? Fuck. I'm completely I had
At the
such a
bus.
Okay, so when I say the bus, I feel like people in the U.S. think like, you go in the bus? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? But I think I gotta put in context. In Europe, it's not that riffraff to use the bus and the metro, or the tunnel, the rail tunnel, whatever the fuck that you call it.
The subway.
The subway. Like, I feel like if you say you take the bus in LA, it's like, damn, dog, be careful. Here it's fine. They got air conditioning, shit works. There's not like a homeless guy shitting in the fucking bus. Okay, but what I was going to, I looked to outside because I'm a very curious guy. I'm always looking at other people's shit, right? And I was looking at the cars passing by. Bro, everyone is on their fucking phone. Bro, it's terrifying, dog. It's terrifying. Bro, you remember when we were young? I mean, we're still young, but when our dick really got hard back in the day, right? There was this thing, texting and driving. It was like, whew. And I remember that even though that was a problem, people weren't addicted to their phones in that way. And I had forgotten because I haven't driven in like maybe 5 or more years, because since I moved to Europe, it's like a socialist, communist place. You go, everybody drives a bus and gets on a fucking paddy wagon type shit. Anyways, so now that I'm looking back at the world of driving and smartphones have, overtaken society, bro, it's terrifying. Have you noticed this?
Yeah, a lot. Actually, the other day I was walking in Alabama. I was walking in the street, and then this lady just passed me with her phone. I have noticed more of it, and I feel like people are getting more addicted that they can't put it down, even if it's for driving. It's crazy.
And look, I get it. Like, I feel the itch, right? I thankfully I don't think I have it, to that extent. And I'm getting better. Like, I'm starting to just leave my phone away and just be hours on my own in my house doing things, not look at my phone. But yeah, bro, there's people that it's insane, man. Like, there's people in the supermarket. Like, because when people are in the supermarket looking at the list, because that's fine. If you got your phone, you got your list. I get it. You're not going to bring a fucking paper with a list like, you live in the 1950s, right? Who are you, fucking Indiana Jones and shit? Coming with a fucking paper list and just scratching them with a fucking pen? Who the fuck are you? Aretha Franklin? What the fuck is wrong with you? Right? So, and you're not going to bring like an iPad. Today my accent is extra heavy. I don't know why.
Yeah.
So look, there's people looking at fucking Instagram in the supermarket, bro. With the crisis, with the inflation, move, lady. Now they're driving like this. I bet the fucking pilot in a plane has his phone out. I'm scared of planes now. I've realized that the people that drive them, that fly them, are just normal fucking people like you and me. You know what I mean? It's insane, bro. Sorry, guys. I'm going insane. We're on all platforms. Spotify, iTunes. Leave us a review there. It's free, but it really means a lot for us. And it makes iTunes and Spotify know that we do not need to be institutionalized.
The accent heavy today.
Yeah, accent heavy today. Hopefully this will take us to the top of the accent podcast in the Spotify. I'm very sorry, guys. It's probably bad. I don't know why it's so heavy today. Some days you just wake up heavy on the accent.
It happens.
It happens, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that it?
TikTok.
Is that it?
Instagram.
Well, yeah, TikTok, Instagram. We're putting clips out every day. The episodes are, 50 minutes, 60 minutes. Now we're making them longer. We're making sure that you got clips every day. Like I said, you can listen to it if you can fucking watch it. You can see the clips. Bro, I don't want to pay for any of that. Go to KIKOcervantes.com. You can just go to the feed and listen to it for free, no ads. I don't know what else to do. suck dick. Do like the walk talk girl. Walk talk. Peace out, guys.